a chance for roll call.
All right, so we have 7 members present. Absent is Jasmine Flores and Selena King. Janelle is online. So we have a quorum.
All righty.
And
Do I have a approval of, I'll run for a little bit and I get,
Okay, no worries, Andrew.
sorry. Do I have approval of minutes?
I'll move. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aaron, any public comment online?
It doesn't look that way.
All right. Secretary's report?
All right, so currently we have 277 blighted properties on the blighted property list. 28 of those are under the ownership of the Land Bank or the Redevelopment Authority of the City of Erie, with a number of those scheduled for demolition or out for bid at the current time. On Monday, the authority filed 2 declaration of taking. We also did approve at the Redevelopment Authority meeting 2 deed in lieu of condemnations. One was a property that was identified for condemnation action, but the legal team was able to come to an agreement and get a deed in lieu of condemnation. And then the other one was a property on West 10th Street, which Jake and Code Enforcement was instrumental in connecting the Redevelopment Authority with the property owner and coming to a deed in lieu of condemnation. I don't believe it was a blighted property.
Is that 629?
Yeah.
That was blighted.
It was blighted, but so we were able to get a deed, and we'll be filing that. So 2 more properties that we'll have under our control and then get demolished and move forward there. So that's my report for today.
All right, thank you, sir. Have we received no correspondence?
No correspondence.
Moving on to old business, properties for rescission of blight.
So we have 2 properties, and one 617 Ash was a demolition, but I want to share the 918. So as it pops up here, hopefully you guys see it. There it is. So these are the pictures from when the committee blighted the property. And an example of how the process is supposed to work and what can happen. So, certainly this was a private rehab, and, so the committee took action, blighted the property, and then, did it transfer ownership?
Yeah, so the property was blighted, and then it was, the ownership was transferred. The new owner took possession and did an entire rehab, actually. They saved the property. They were able to repair plaster on the inside, refinish flooring, put a new roof on it, did the siding. They got plumbing and electrical permits to complete the work, and those were all passed and finalized. And in my opinion, they saved the property.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm. Is it rental or owner occupied?
It is a rental. It's a 2-unit flat.
I can pull up the picture of 617 Ash. It's, I think you guys have seen plenty of vacant lots, but. This was a property that the Redevelopment Authority, Marquette, was in the process of foreclosing. Since our solicitor at Marsh, and that Marsh is the solicitor for Marquette, we were able to get the deed of this property, blighted it, and then we're able to get it demolished. So.
All right, thank you. Do I have a motion to remove the rescission of blight on these 2 properties?
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 All right. Moving on to new business, Jake.
Yep. So we've got a couple of properties here for blight declaration. I'll give Aaron a moment to get some pictures up. The first property is going to be 852 East 22nd Street. One of the owners is deceased. The property is vacant, it's unsecure, it's got pretty bad damage to the roof. Actually, the tree on the west side of the structure has grown and fallen into the tree. We've had no response after several notices. We've had 5 cases all time with this property. Notice of violation sent on 7 different times, including in the last 2 years. We've had 4 notifications sent out, a repair and demo order, and never got a response. There's no national fuel gas, Penelec's inactive, and the water has been off at that property since March 2nd of 2020. And they owe a balance of about $620. The taxes are back to 22, and they owe just over $5,600 in taxes.
Is it a mobile home?
No, I'm not sure if there's a basement under that structure or not, but it's like a ranch style. I'm not sure that it's a mobile home.
Okay, it just looks really long.
It is. It's very long and short.
Narrow lot.
Narrow, yeah.
I'll move to Blight.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, up next, we have 210 East 22nd Street. This was picked up on a quitclaim deed in 2021 and looks like it's actually the second owner since 2020, and that owner in 2020 bought it at tax sale and did nothing with it. They're overdue on taxes back to 22. They owe almost $8,500 in taxes. National Fuel's inactive, Penelec's inactive. Surprisingly, the water is active at the structure. We've had 6 cases all time. We've got 3 cases with the current owner. We've sent 4 notice violations to the current owner. There was citations on this property back in 2017 that had no result. We've issued repair and demo order. We've posted notice. We haven't got any response. I did get a phone call from somebody that was inquiring about the property, that they were going to purchase it and try to renovate it. And I said, well, if you're going to purchase it, I need to see proof of ownership in order to work with you. And that just fell to the wayside and never came into being anything. So.
Is that rehabable?
So from the outside, I don't know, I didn't see the pictures that were up there, but it could be. From the street, you could see the second floor porch door was open and it was down to studs on the interior. So I don't know if this was one where somebody started to try to rehab it, but my fear is that somebody will pick it up and rehab it without permits and do it improperly. So that's another reason I'm asking for the blight declaration.
Okay. Do I have a motion to blight?
So moved.
Second?
Aaron, second.
Awesome.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, third on the list today, we have 1815 Myrtle Street. This property was also obtained on a quitclaim deed. The owner is out of state. I've had multiple phone calls over the last 3 months from EPD. I did have to file a lien to board and secure the structure because people were breaking and entering. That board and seal was completed this past April. And looking through some of the case history, I found that there was a fire on the interior of the structure in September of 2023, and the property has remained vacant since. Nothing has been done with it. They are back on taxes back to 2023 for just under $4,000 in taxes that they owe. There's no utilities at all. National Fuel, Penelec, and Erie Waterworks are all inactive. And actually, Erie Waterworks has been inactive since 2017. So I would say that it's been vacant since 2017, seeing there's been no water there since 2017. We've had 6 cases on that property. We've We've got 3 on with the current owner. We've sent 7 notice of violations, never had a response. We've posted notice, we've mailed notice. I believe this owner's out of Seattle, and just have not got any response whatsoever. And with the amount of foot traffic in the area, people breaking and entering, I'm asking for a blight declaration for that property.
And I'll add, a couple years ago, the authority was contacted. We have a rehabilitation lien from the previous owner who went into foreclosure. We were contacted by a company that was looking to buy it. It was held by an asset company at that point, and if it did transfer ownership, they were requesting us to satisfy our lien, and we were not. So they took ownership of it with the lien on it, but that's currently where it's at. Is it's just unfortunately still vacant. So.
Thank you. Okay, do I have a motion to blight?
I'll move.
Second?
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Up next, we have 27 East 24th Street. This property has been in disrepair for some time. There's been multiple, okay, we'll start here. They're owed taxes back to 24. The owner of the property is incarcerated, and it does not seem that the owner will ever get out of prison. There was a fire there just this past December, a pretty bad fire, and there was some pictures of the fire towards the end of the pictures here. The entire back roof of the structure has been burned through. We've had 4 cases all time. We've had multiple citations issued on the property, and all those citations were asked to be pulled back because the judges informed us that the owner of the property was incarcerated for life. So they asked us to withdraw the citations on that property, and the property had sat. Back in 2020, we had attempted to issue repair a demo order, and we were met with some unhappy people that were still living in the structure, and there was an altercation between a code officer and the people there. So the code officer stepped away, and the property has been sitting like that since. I think I would take a guess and say after the fire was when the people who were actually living there vacated it. The utilities are off. The water is still on, but it was posted for shut off. They do owe over $600 for the water bill. So I talked to the water authority, and they said that they were going to be shutting the water off. This one's a hazard. I mean, you can see the pictures. It should have been bladed back then, but after the altercation, I think it kind of slipped through the cracks, and I just want to get it bladed now so that we can get this one rolling.
Thank you, Jake. Okay, do I have a motion to blight?
I move. So moved.
Second? Rick? All in favor, say aye.
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 Lastly, we have 921 West 26th Street. The owner of this property is deceased, and the structure is illegally occupied. The taxes are back to 22. They owe over $3,000 in taxes. Penelec is off, National Fuel's off, and the water has been posted for shut off. We have an active code enforcement case on the property currently, and a citation has been filed, but after we filed the citation, we found out that the owner is deceased, and the occupants that are inside the structure are squatting, and it's becoming a pretty bad situation. There's a lot of junk and debris piling up in the backyard. There's some vehicles that are full of junk out front. It's just not a good situation, and we're continuing to get lots of calls about it. And with the owner being deceased and the utilities and the illegal occupancy, I'm asking for a blight declaration.
We do get quite a few complaints on this.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'll move.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 All right.
That is all we have.
All right, I thank everyone. Take care. We'll see you next month. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye.